Welcome to Time Frame Thursday with a quote from Margaret Atwood, who said, "I suppose these deadlines we set for ourselves are really a way of saying we appreciate time and that we want to use all of it." Isn't that beautiful? Hi there, my name is Christopher D'Armani. It is my pleasure, it is my passion to empower nonfiction authors just like you, so you can turn your dream of writing a book into your published reality. Because when you turn that dream into your reality, every other dream you have for your life can come true, because it's through service to others. And that's really what all writing a book is about, is being of service to others. And who was it? It was, I want to say Ogmandino, but it wasn't him. It was escaping me. We can get everything we want in life if we just help enough other people get what they want. That's it. Super simple. That's ultimately, that's the entire purpose of writing a nonfiction transformational book. We want to help people. And so that's what I want to talk about a little bit today, about the importance of taking time seriously so that we can help people. It's really, really important. The sad truth, of course, is that any deadline that we set for ourselves is often the easiest to ignore. It's the easiest to kick down the road until, guess what? You and your book are sitting on someday I'll. Someday I'll write a book. Someday I'll publish my brilliant wisdom. No, you won't. Because doing all these things requires that we value time. If I value my time, the last place on the planet I want to be is someday I'll. Yeah, it might be beautiful there, but look at the one on screen, for example, right? There's a tree that may, if you're lucky, give you some shade at some point. There's nothing to drink, there's nothing to eat. There's nowhere to shelter yourself from the sunshine. It may look great in the moment, but guess what? Someday I'll is no place I ever want to live. Hopefully you don't either. So take these internal deadlines seriously, because when we do, we can turn our dream into our reality. If I want to turn that dream I have of writing a book, there's only one way to turn that dream into reality, and that's by setting deadlines, meeting those deadlines, keeping my word to myself, keeping my commitment to myself, acting in integrity. And the way I define integrity is really simple. It's showing up when I said I would show up, doing what I said I would do when I said I would show up at that appointed hour, whether I feel like it or not. For most days, that can be the most important part of that whole process. Whether I feel like it or not. Because how I feel in the moment about anything, not just writing my book, is completely irrelevant. I got a job to do. I need to write the next chapter of my book. That's it. So sit down, do it whether I feel like it or not. This is why I strive to make every single writing deadline more important than meeting with my doctor, with my bank manager, with my accountant, with my pastor. It's more important, well, it's equally as important as every single one of those meetings. I would argue that sometimes it's more important than some of those meetings. Because when I do that, guess what? These daily writing appointments with myself, they're essential to my success. If you can see the small screen there on the guy's wrist, there's a woman screaming because she's so frustrated because things aren't happening the way she wants. If I show up when I'm supposed to show up, do what I'm supposed to do, and meet my deadline, guess what? I never have to feel that way. How beautiful is that? I never have to feel that frustration that comes from, man, I didn't do what I said. It always boils down to being a disappointment with myself when I'm not living in integrity with what I say is important to me. Same is probably true for you in your life, right? So for me in my life, and meeting the objectives I want with my writing, setting hard deadlines for my first draft, for my final draft, for my publication date, those are critically important. Critically important. The trick, of course, is to set real-world consequences for not meeting them. What is the penalty I must pay if I don't live in integrity? If I don't do what I say I'm going to do? If I fail to meet this deadline? What's the real-world penalty I'm going to pay? Do I have to donate some money to a political cause that I can't stand? And if you're going to do that, hey, it's a great incentive. A great incentive. But make it enough money to actually matter, not $5. Make it $100. Something that's you're actually going to like, man, I'm giving these people I despise $100 because I refuse to live in integrity. Boy, I'm never doing that again. Whatever it takes to empower yourself to move forward, do it. And one of the easiest and simplest things to do is simply to put your book up for pre-order on Amazon and every other marketplace out there if you're going wide, as they say. All the online book retailers allow you to put your book up for pre-sale, which means you're marketing and selling your book to the people who most need your solution before you ever write a word. Before you ever write a word. How brilliant is that? So while you're writing your book, I mean, the upside should be obvious, but I'm going to explain it anyways because sometimes I can be a little slow. I need to hear it myself, probably more than you need to hear it. When I begin to promote and sell my book, before I even written the very first word, yeah, I don't get paid until the book is actually published, sure, but those people who I'm interacting with while I'm writing my book, they're putting down their credit card, they're putting down their hard-earned money, they're making their commitment that they want what I have. And that's beautiful. And the other beauty is that you can use all this hype, all this buzz, all this excitement that's created around your book while you're writing it, which will simply make writing your book easier. It'll make writing your book faster. So this is our deadline you don't want to miss, because if you do, my goodness, there are some real-world consequences like I was discussing earlier. Comes with a huge downside in that if you fail to miss your publishing deadline for your pre-sale book, Amazon will not allow you to do it again for another year. So that's 12 months where when you're writing your next book, you don't get to take advantage of all that excitement, all that hype, all that buzz while you're writing your book. You have to do all that hard work alone and finding other ways to generate that buzz because you can't put your book out for pre-sale. You can't get someone else to commit to say, hey, that sounds like a fantastic book, I want that. You don't have that luxury. So this is why setting deadlines and taking them extremely seriously is so very, very important. Because the deadline is the pathway to my dream. It's not something that's lording something over me. It's literally the gateway to my own personal paradise, where the deadline is the thing that kicks the doors of possibility open for me, just like they'll kick them open for you. And when the doors of possibility are kicked wide open, well, we're excited, we're thrilled, we're happy, we're grateful. We're all kinds of stuff that simply empowers us to do the thing that we were put on this earth to do, and that is to write our book and help other people. So take your deadlines seriously. Put the power of those deadlines to work in your life for you and your book. You'll be really grateful you did, I'm sure. You may not love the deadline in the moment, especially when it's like creeping right up on you. And the deadline for your first draft is 2 days away and you're only on chapter 3. Well, you've got some serious work to do, right? So in that moment, deadlines aren't fun, but guess what? They're highly, highly motivating. So take advantage of them. I'm going to harp on what I always harp on. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to suggest what I always suggest to make meeting these deadlines really, really simple. Schedule your writing appointments. Keep those appointments with yourself. Show up and do what you said you were going to do, when you said you were going to do it, whether you feel like it or not. Write. Because the more you build this habit of writing every single day, meeting a deadline is nothing. It's easy. Because every day you're on the right path. You're adding more miles to the odometer, right? Super simple stuff. And when you're holding that book in your hot little hands, when that package arrives with your book and you open up the package, you take away the stuffing, and you pick up this copy of your book with your name on the cover and your title and your cover art that you helped design, the feeling in your heart is going to be just amazing. And in that moment, you're going to go, wow, thank you to every single one of those deadlines, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. That's it. Take them seriously. Schedule your writing sessions. Show up. Do the work. And that moment will be true for you as well. And it will blow your mind, because on the other side of hitting that publish button, there are things that will happen in your life that you can't possibly imagine. Can't possibly imagine. That's what happened for me. And every time I publish a new book, something else I couldn't possibly dream up happens. Because I've kicked the doors of possibility wide open, and I've allowed that to show up. All because of a deadline. So take yours seriously. Take them seriously. Do the work. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed today's message, and I hope that I've inspired you to set deadlines for yourself and to then do the more important thing, keep them. Keep them. That's it. And please connect with me on social media. Connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, all the rest of them. You can find links to all my social media accounts, plus a couple of other goodies that you may find helpful on your writing journey, all at authorcoach.click/Christopher. So with that, have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Bye for now.